Hello, everyone. You know what time it is. It's Friday, which means it's time for some more breakthroughs. Hang tight for season 7, episode 2 of The Breakthrough Show. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday to you, and welcome to another uplifting episode of The Breakthrough Show. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and today we are tuning in to the rhythm of resilience and revelation. It is my absolute honor to welcome back to the show a profoundly talented individual. His voice is not just an instrument of melody, but a beacon of hope and healing. Through his talent and his music, he tells stories that touch our hearts, stir our souls, and inspire us to embrace our own breakthroughs. In today's episode, titled Behind the Music, he'll share with us his latest adventures in the world of sound and storytelling. He's here to discuss his incredible work on the soundtrack for Fall Guy, a project that's as compelling as it is courageous, mirroring the resilience of the human spirit. And if that's not exciting enough, I cannot tell you how thrilled I am that he will also be premiering his brand new track, Cry, right here with us on the show today. So let's get ready to explore how music can be a powerful catalyst for healing, transformation, and personal growth. Let's welcome Ray to the show. Ray Coates, I'm so excited to have you back on the show today.
Wow. is that it? I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go now. I
Are we
genuinely
done? Are
think,
we done
I
with it?
thought, I was actually sat here thinking, who are you talking about?
Oh,
No, I'm only teasing. No, thank you very much. What an introduction. Thank you.
we've come a long way since the last time you were on the show. So I'm proud of that. But I'm also like, I really enjoy having some of our past guests on the show to catch up, see what you've been up to, because I have no doubt that the majority of people that we've had on this program are changing the world and continuing to do it in a big way. And you're no exception to that.
Oh, thank you, Jessica. It's
Absolutely.
it's why I think we're all here.
Mm.
Um, and that's one of the reasons that since we last shared this space together, that I've been sharing space with a lot of people. And I absolutely love creating. And I feel we are here to create as individuals, but also to create as part of the collective as well. So that can be formed in specific duos, trios, writing partnerships, bands, whatever it is, and not just necessarily confined to music. So, yeah, lots to share because there's a lot of wonderful people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'll take you down a little trip down memory lane for a moment. I was sharing with you before we came on the show today. You
And
were
I
on
forgot.
season.
And I forgot. So thank you for the trip. Thank you for the trip down memory lane. It's good for me.
Of course. So you were on season 5, episode 31 of the show called Connecting on Earth and Beyond. And I asked you in the beginning of the show, what is bringing you joy today? And the very ironic thing as I was listening to you speak just a moment ago is it ties in beautifully with what you
Oh,
said back then.
yeah.
You said, the thing that's bringing me joy today is the connection of creativity.
Mm.
I feel it's easy for it to seem as if it's an expert field like many things in life, that creativity belongs to those people over there. And the wonderful thing, the joy I have is exploding that untrue, because the truth is we all are and we all have it.
Yeah. Well, I agree with me.
I agree with you too.
Yeah, good. Well, that's good then, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's two of us. But it is true. I've shared a message recently about when people use the expression, they don't have a creative bone in their bodies. Well, of course that's not true, because we're made up of creative bones. So what I've shared more and realised more, and I'm very grateful for, is recognising that in others. And for me, I'm grateful for that in me. I genuinely am. I'm not diminishing that and putting that to one side, but to experience that as fully as possible. And it has expanded, it has grown. And I want to do everything I can possible to help others to, and even if it's not in the field I'm in, even if it's not in the creative arts, I recognise passion, and I love, like you do, people who are passionate about what they do. And I like to share that, whether that's a direct creative connection or just amplifying them, because it's so important, and the individual abilities that we have, and amplifying those is really, really important today.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you and I, even every time we've spoken, I feel like we're on sort of the same wavelength about that, about the importance of sharing people's stories, and that's a beautiful way to heal ourselves, but also to bring us together and let people know that they're not alone in the challenges that they face, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know we're going to come on to this, but I chose as a title because there's the option, as you can see. We all cry. And, I'm thinking a lot about that at the moment, that apart from people who don't have tear ducts for physical reasons, it's something we share in common. Now, that's not just tears of sadness, it's tears of joy. The amount of times that you cry laughing. And I just think just things like that, just a recognition of difference is promoted, division even more so. If division is promoted, so anything anyone can do in whatever realm it is to bring individuals together in humanity. You mentioned the wavelength. That is the wavelength. So we are on the wavelength, because regardless of anything else, that is it. Whatever anyone defines that as, it's beyond definition, but there is definitely a wavelength. So the more we can accentuate that wavelength, the better.
I agree. I agree. Well, it wouldn't be a show with you if we didn't have some music. And I think a great way to break the ice today is to play one of your more recent songs, Shake It Up. The spin one of it, though, but we'll get into what all those spins mean after we play the song for sure. Okay. So I want everybody to put your dancing emojis down in the comments, and let's shake it up together. Okay. We'll be right back after this.
Let's shake it up right now. Shake it up. Shaking up the garbage we feed on. Shaking up our wondrous being. Let's begin the reform. Even if just for a
our hope struck numb by rules that make no sense at all.
Let's
begin the reform. Let's open up the door. Let's shake it up right now. Let's utilize the power. Let's shake it up right now.
Shake It Up, Spin One by Ray Coates featuring Caroline Brown. That if that song doesn't get you moving, I don't know what will. I really don't. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
It gets me moving. So
Yeah.
so that's it. That's a good sign. And yeah, Caroline, it's her lyrics, her voice. And it started live from a social media post.
Wow.
So Caroline, pretty much the lyrics were a comment that Caroline made. It was a comment or a post that I saw, and I thought, oh, I like those words.
Yeah.
And then it grew into 5 completely different versions of the same song.
That's incredible. So that's what Spin One means. So there's 4 others other than that one that you just heard.
It. I'm greedy.
Well, you know what you are. You make songwriting seem so simple, because I think myself and other people, even though I've spent so much of my life in the world of music, I tend to complicate song lyrics. Like, I really just overthink it. And this is the most simple, amazing song that came from a Facebook comment.
Yeah, it did. Yes. And I think the key is, I mean, songwriters like John Lennon, one of the keys is, so if this is of any service to anyone, is basically to be available all the time. It's 24/7. So you're on all the time and ready to absorb all the time. That's one key. And the other one you mentioned is to be beyond thought. Because one of the things we do as human creatures, of course, when we think about things, is we think. So if I said, let's write a song now, the first thing, I've already created the problem. Because basically I've introduced a blockage, which is we've now got to think.
Right.
And the best way to be is just allow space. And this can happen in so many ways. Not just in music, but it's the flow. It's the flow. It's being beyond thought.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, the truth of the matter is I'm a chronic overthinker. And when I do allow myself to drop like into my heart or just get out of my own head, that's when the magic happens. It really does. I recognize that.
Exactly. And by the way, I'm not suggesting that I'm in that 24/7. That would be nice. That would be nice. But more often than not, because it comes also with practice. It comes with practice. So, and I think also for me, I mean, I've written songs all of my life, but I think another aspect of it is an opposite life to the one that I'm living now, where I did restrict, I did constrain, I did limit. And I've shared this before, but I'm happy to share it again for the benefit of others too. I feel that's where the throat cancer came from. Because I'm not saying that I per se created that, but there was something there. There was a blockage there emotionally, and neither am I suggesting that's going to be the same outcome for all. But for me, I really do feel that's what it led to as a result of. So now if you imagine the complete opposite of that, that's why at times if I'm anything, I'm completely free in the expression of creativity and also in other expressions. Because, and I feel that very strongly for others, we can allow ourselves to be constrained by systems of belief or whatever it might be. And I don't promote liberality in the sense of do what you like regardless, because there's no responsibility in that. But I do promote a freedom that doesn't constrain itself by restrictive considered norms, and that's like shake it up, begin the reform. That was actually Caroline's lyrics, but that's why it aligned with me, because I thought this is a message that needs to be amplified. And actually, funny enough, you're so good, you're so good, because I come to realizations. That's why
breakthroughs.
Breakthroughs, absolutely. There you go. Realizations doesn't work, does it? But that's why there are 5 versions, because that's a thought that's amplified.
Wow.
There's more of it. So the more we can have of, be beyond thought. Okay, not possible in this system all of the time, but do it as much as you can and allow for it. Let the thoughts, let the feelings flow. Don't always necessarily have to mean something. So that's another one. I find myself, I receive words. I think, oh, that's interesting. I don't quite know exactly what that means, but other people say it means something, so therefore it does.
Yeah. I think to me, it also, the number of versions there is, it also speaks to the fact that when we learn something or when we resonate with something, there's oftentimes more than one lesson that comes with that. Like, it's so layered. Sometimes more than even we realize. We'll experience something and we'll go, oh, that feels really good, or that really resonates with me. And then next thing you know, we're like, oh, but it also means this, and it means this, and this feels good too. And it's this like beautiful expansion and abundance of new ideas that happen with us.
Completely. So for me, creatively, that's where it's led to. Because in that realization has grown. And then the wonderful thing in the breakthrough, is I've realized that's not just my experience. So that for me, that's the even more beautiful opportunity. I use a little bit of a throwaway phrase, but sometimes I say I can do me. I've done me. I haven't got a problem with that. I've got no problem with sharing me. I've got no issue with that. I've got nervous hang-ups. I get a little bit nervous when I perform at times, of course, because I'm stood in front of people, and that's a little bit of a what you don't normally do. But I'm kind of a bit the other side of that, as it being a massive problem. So now I'm in a position where I want to create that for others and with others, because I'm grateful. I'm really, really grateful for the position and the opportunity I'm in, and the way that my mind has come to be, and the way that my being has come to be. And therefore I want to share that for others as much as possible.
Yeah. I know, Ray, that you have worked on many projects since the last time you were on the show. And I want to dive in a little bit to Fall Guy that you're working on right now. Can you tell us about John and also how this project came about?
Well, I feel like I'm definitely on a talk show now. Are you ready?
I'm very ready. Oh,
There we
look
go.
at that. We have
There we go.
Vanna White and we have show and tell today. I love it.
And now you know that one, just imagine, picture the scene that one is traveling its way to you, because
Yeah.
I already know that's taking place.
It is. It is. I'm
It,
so excited.
it happened, I guess, not by chance. And so many chances have happened that they're not chance. Myself and John met through essentially a local radio station. And I gradually, over a period of time, became aware of John and his life. A number of years ago, John was in property, real estate, and mostly in the northwest of the UK and the Blackpool area. But then this American gentleman wanted a property. His wife came into where John worked. I'm not going to tell the whole story because there's a lot involved. But basically, John got them some property here in the UK. But then the husband wanted John to travel to a couple of different countries. Latvia initially, and then Bulgaria. And this was to access land, to access land. This gentleman was into horse racing and buying land to create horse tracks, racing tracks. And John was asked to go to Bulgaria. And he went there once with a gentleman, went there to secure the deal for the land on his own. And I'm not going to say much beyond what I'm going to say next. Bulgaria weren't in the EU at the time. And John was shot by the Bulgarian mafia. No build-up, no expectation, no realization of the people that he was, dealing with potentially. And he was essentially the fall guy. So he'd been set up effectively to be the front man for a deal that, of course, the Bulgarian mafia didn't take kindly to because they wanted the land. He was left for dead. The torturous, not even treatment, but experience he had afterwards medically left him with life-altering effects that he still carries now. It took him years, 4.5 years, to walk and talk again. Now, I learned this over a period of time. And I learned even more when I read Fall Guy, which I chose not to for a period of time. We'd had discussions. John had previously written a few lyrics. His website is johncheethampoetry.co.uk. So he writes poetry. And then we connected in songwriting. And then it began to develop, and I talked to him, and I said about the potential of us writing songs as a soundtrack to Fall Guy. And I have to jump ahead slightly. I'm genuinely, it feels like I'm talking quite a lot, but there's so much to share.
You're fine.
We've now reached the point within several months where we are now looking at the realistic potential of a book to film project. And my vision was the music to create the sound of that vision. John's lyrics, my music, we've sat in the very room I'm in now. See the keyboard behind me. John's been in this room. I've started playing. John's got the words, or he's formed the words. We've now turned those into songs. And one has been previously released, one today. We're going to come to that in a moment. 2 are nearly mastered. And there's going to be an album of 9 tracks. Yesterday evening, I performed the song that we're going to talk about later, live. And somebody came up to us after the live performance. So emotion alert, because I knew it would happen. And we did not expect it at all. So this is potential, nothing more yet, but amazing. Somebody talked to us and said, I heard what you said. Have you got anybody who's written the script yet? So that was myself and John. Yeah, I wish he were here. He's working tonight, but we were looking at each other and did that just happen? And it's an incredible, it's an emotional bubble I'm in at the moment because I'm reliving John's life with him. And I'm reliving it with him through music. And this guy on the PTSD level, I can't remember what the measurements are, but he's way. He's been given a PTSD rating that's close to the maximum you can get.
Right.
And it's astonishing that he is functioning in the way that he is as a human being. Not only has he survived, but he's creating. And yeah, it's just, he's a remarkable human being.
It's so amazing. I had once we were working on putting together this show, John and I connected over social media, and I said I would love to hear your story, like, because we want to talk about the music today, and then I want to dig into more of his story with him later on. So I'll be excited to have him on the show later on in the season. But I think it really speaks to something that I'm so passionate about, and that's that music really can be its own breakthrough moment. It can be the soundtrack of our lives. It can be something that allows us to connect to a moment in a way that maybe therapy and other things are too painful for us to do.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And music is the sonic version of the human spirit. Music is the sonic version of the human spirit. And that came from, by the way, Jessica, me listening to what you just said. I've never said that phrase before. And that just came to me. Music is the sonic version of the human spirit. We're hearing in music when it works in the way it does. And that includes vibrant, bright music, joyful music, uplifting music, upbeat music, because we're all of those things. We are joy, we are love, we are compassion. We are compassion, that's why we feel, that's why we cry, that's why we get moved by listening to others and their experiences. So music is a often compact version, it's a condensed version of the sonic version of the human spirit. So you get all of that in that beautifully bite-sized offering of a song. And there's millions of them, billions of them. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing to have that opportunity to hear and to enjoy? And even just a quick thought.
Yeah.
I've actually had here in the UK a couple of songs interpreted into British Sign Language. So I'm now at the cusp of a realization that it's not just people hearing a voice, people can see a voice as well. So there's somebody I've been working in collaboration with who translates the song lyrics into sign language, which is
that's
incredible.
amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, I will say this. So on a very personal note, I went to a concert last night with my children. It was a band that I enjoyed back in high school, who's still around and playing, and I really, they have such a, not just the music, like they're so high vibe and about love and just relaxing and having a good time. And gosh, we all need a little bit of that. I think down to it. But the interesting thing about this is, like, there's a couple things. One, when I was sick a few years ago, my hearing has not been the same since I was sick. I've really had a lot of issues with my hearing. So when I listen to things, I got to really turn it up now. And it's a challenge sometimes. And so I often will kind of like zone out during concerts a little bit now. But the beautiful thing is, during the show last night, I kind of had one of those zone out moments, and I just looked around. And it brought me so much joy to like watch everybody just in the moment and being in the vibration of this music, and the vibration of being together and celebrating music and feeling the love and feeling relaxed together. And it was just this, I just looked around for a minute and I just went, wow, like there's just nothing like the power of music and what it can do. And it's not even so much like I wasn't even hearing the words or the music in that moment. I was just kind of zoned out and just there with that energy. And it was the most beautiful thing I think I've witnessed in a really long time.
That's lovely. I think, a shared noise, if you hear an alarm or a loud bang or whatever it might be, people can hear that noise together. So they're all experiencing it, but that's not music, is it?
Yeah.
That's just everybody hearing the noise. So it's different. And that's what you just shared. So when you have a collective experience of not only hearing something, but it's the collective emotion. That's why anthems are so powerful.
Right.
Yeah, because they bring people together in that same, almost at times, often,
right,
energetic agreement.
That's beautiful.
Have I got to write that down in case I forget it?
Yes, put that on a pillow, a t-shirt. Music is an energetic agreement. Like, it's just so good. It's so good. Like, it just makes me feel so emotional even thinking about that. It really is. Speaking of anthems, though, I would really like for everyone to hear Fall Guy, which is the first, the title track of the album, correct?
Yes.
There it is. There it is. We're going to play Fall Guy for you guys, and we're going to come back after commercial break, and we're going to hear the premiere. Don't go anywhere because you'll miss the premiere, okay, of the second song on the track as well. But here comes Fall Guy first, okay? Here we go.
Sometimes we are made to take a fall, scanning the horizon, although it's dark. Life was good, now you've fallen apart. Pass us by, happy to collect, body damaged, mind a wreck. Surrounded by sirens all around, racing through that cold war town, dodging the red stop signs, views of only old telegraph lines. Days that you shine and days you hide the pain, whilst looking down on your sea of fate. You know sometimes it's just too late. Sometimes we are made to take a fall, no matter how high we stand, no matter how tall. Don't know the reason why I became the fall guy. Protocolis the echoed word as they depart and disperse. Trolley dashed a white coat room, all over way too soon. Headless came and throwing away, unfortunately left it a little too late. Soft hands holding frozen past down, dampened rust was inside out. Days that you shine and days you hide the pain, whilst looking down on your sea of fate. You know sometimes it's just too late. Sometimes we are made to take a fall, no matter how high we stand, no matter how tall. Don't know the reason why I became the fall guy. One leg down on terra firma ground, I can still hear the angels' amplified sound. Now there's no escape route to find, I've just simply lost my mind. Sometimes we are made to take a fall, no matter how high we stand, no matter how tall. Don't know the reason why I became the fall guy. Don't know the reason why I became the fall guy. Fall guy.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Season 7, Episode 2 of The Breakthrough Show. I'm here with Breakthrough alum Ray Coates with us today. We're going behind the music on his latest project, Fall Guy. How did you guys like that song? Let us know in the comments. It really is such a powerful melody, and I think it's beautiful dance that happens when we are able to match, a lyric and a melody up beautifully in that way.
That's a wonderful description. And I think the balance in a lot of the songs that I'm creating with John, when you listen to somebody else's lyrics, I'm predominantly a lyricist, but So I'm grateful. When I listen to all kinds of music, I'm really genuinely interested in the lyrics. And that line, days that we shine, and days we hide the pain. So I just think that for me, if somebody just heard the music of the song, think, oh, it's a bit. John even used the description, which I think is correct. It's haunting. It's a haunting song. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is, because of what the experience it's attached to. But it's also still got that balancing. And you know what? When you listen to songs, you're learning all the time, because I've just done that. When I do lives, I think we're similar in this way. When I present, I don't have a massive script.
Yeah.
I'm generally, I have some thoughts, but I generally share what I'm thinking. And as I was listening to the song, I've sung it. I'm the singer, and I've sung it a number of times. But hearing that lyric just then just hit me. Days that we shine, way, yay, and days we hide the pain. That really, just within those two phrases, is a description of life. And what we try to do is ignore the pain, avoid the pain, of course.
Yeah.
But we do have those times. So I think of music, it doesn't have to be happy clappy all of the time.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about people describing music as it's a bit melancholy. I had almost an argument with somebody who described Bridge Over Troubled Water as melancholy.
Oh.
It's one of the most uplifting songs ever written.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the music, you might think, oh, that's a bit kind of downbeat, but it's absolutely beautiful. So I think what you just said, when you join the two together and listen carefully. So these are life-lived lyrics. That's how I explain them. And I think all lyrics are, of course, but John's very acutely. This comes from a man who is broken and really, and I know he won't be offended by this, should have died. And he didn't. So that's a reminder. I saw what you had going across the screen, his miraculous survival. So his journey, his life, is a reminder that you can, it's not what we want for anyone, but you can go to what you feel are the pits of darkness, to hell. And you can come out of that. Not only has he come out of that, he's now converted that into an inspiration for others.
Yeah.
So that's why we're passionate to share, because it is, when people read and understand more of what he experienced, it's a reminder of the incredible nature of the human spirit. We're all living, breathing, walking miracles. We all are.
And that's what breakthroughs are all about. I went on record saying, me, the creator of the Breakthrough Show and the Breakthrough Show Network, saying that the breakthrough isn't actually what matters. It's what we do with it afterwards. It's the, we can sit in, and we have the option as human beings with the power of choice to sit in whatever circumstance, whatever we are given in this life, whatever we create in this life. We can sit in it, we can drown in it, we can play in it, we can do whatever we want, but ultimately we can, when the time is right and we're ready, come out of that and say, okay, it's time, and use it for something good, moving forward, whether that's music, a book, teaching. There's so many different avenues that can birth creativity after a challenge or a breakthrough experience in our lives.
Completely. And we can be the weapon, we can be the villain, we can be the villain or the superhero. So the means and the medium is us. So a knife, a pair of hands, certain objects can be used to create some wonderful things, or they can be used as weapons. So 100% agree with you, because the power of choice is, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with that which I have experienced and gained as a result of that experience? So for me, it's the voice. And it's not just my voice, it's the voice of a deeper message of, yes, life can at times be, of course, challenging, and will constantly be, because it's part of the human experience. But my goodness me, we've got so many things that we can do with it as well. And, you know, to connect with others. And we've got these other experiences around us. So we join forces with those. I use this phrase of myself and John. We are a force to be reckoned with. And I say that of each of us individually, but when we bring that together, like musical experience you had, we're now collecting, we're now connecting. And that is far more powerful. So when we unify in music, that's the opportunity we have to remember, remember. It's in us. It's in us. It's not outside us. It's the essence of us. And when we remember who we are, why we are, and how connected we are, that is powerful.
You know, between this episode and then I know once I read John's book, I'm going to have a couch full of pillows with things that are stitched on them from you both. I know it's going to happen.
Well, can you share it with us when you do? Because I'd love to see that.
People will walk in my house like, what is this? What's happening here? It'll be great. One of the next song that you are putting out from this album is called Cry. Can you tell us a little bit about that song specifically?
Yeah, released today, officially.
Yay.
So it's a wonderful joy to share it with you today. It's when John returned to the UK, so to give it a little bit of time stamp. Unable to work fully, of course. He experienced, as a result of a hatchet surgical procedure in Bulgaria, poisoning. So because the bullet was left in him, even though apparently it was taken out. So that was a further, there's more than this as well, but that was a further complication. The people, the company he was working with were, to say the least, let him down severely. To some degree, I'm making no political statement in this at all, but the UK let him down severely. And basically he was just left. And therefore, of course, he then lost his property that he was living in at the time. And that's where the song Cry comes from, particularly because John was, of course, understandably in despair, you know, having to crawl up the stairs. He was on crutches, having to walk again, trying to work to earn a living. And when you listen to Cry, I don't know whether I'll be back after Cry. I'm not sure, but
you'll be back. We'll be back for a moment after.
Well, I might say something after then. But sure. I think it's just, yes, it's John's experience, but particularly the outro chorus is where we all come together again in that common experience. Days that we shine, days we hide the pain in Fall Guy. When you get to the outro chorus, some days we all need to cry. So it's a representation of, I've had it today, honestly, I've had so many messages today, genuinely, of people saying, we really, really feel that, you know, this is a beautiful song and the emotion, and that's what music is about for me. So to deliver John's experience, his lyrics, last night, talking with yourself today, your audience. I haven't got words. So it's a good job we got a song, isn't it?
Well, without further ado, I want to present to you guys the world premiere of Cry by Ray Coates.
I thought I heard the buildings cry as I casually walked on by. On my way to meet a friend, first thing she said, get those thoughts out of your head. I want this now to end. Go and smash down glass ceilings, seek out those opportunities. Open up that lonesome locked door, just like you've done for years before. You may lose a battle, but win the war. All I wanna do is cry. All I wanna do is cry right through the night. All I wanna do is cry my battlefield from the inside out. All I wanna do is cry. Cry, cry, cry out loud. We kissed and said our goodbyes. Then I began to realize the power in everything that she said. Erase those things out of your head.
I want this now to end.
So I went and smashed down those ceilings, sought out those opportunities, and opened up that lonesome locked door, just like I'd done for years before. Remember, you may lose a battle, but win the war. All I had to do was cry. All I had to do was cry right through the night. All I had to do was cry my battlefield from the inside out. All I had to do was cry, 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 cry out loud. Building is just a place that memories hide. It's not a home without you on the inside. We need to smash down those ceilings, seek out our opportunities, open up that lonesome locked door, just like we've done for years before. Remember, we may lose a battle, but we'll always win the war. Some days we all need to cry. Some days we all need to cry right through the night. Some days we all need to cry our battlefield from the inside out. Some days we all need to cry, 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 cry out loud. Cry.
I feel like we all need a moment after that. That was absolutely heart-wrenching, but at the same time, so empowering in that sometimes the answer is to just release, let go, process, and then
Yeah. So, thank you. Your audio is really good as well, by the way. It really is. It really is. Each of the songs I'm hearing and thinking, wow, that's fantastic. Brief thought. I'll share a personal one first,
Sure.
and then I'll share a little bit more from that. I can't speak about the pain for others of my throat cancer journey. I can't speak of those that were around me at the time. If I could only sing one song again, I went through all of that pain. To sing, cry. And not just for John, because some days we all need to cry. And it's a song that represents the power that we all have and the recognition. We have tear ducts, male, female, religious, irreligious, it doesn't matter. This political party, that political party, whatever it is. We're all human. And that song, I'm so grateful to have a voice to be able to sing it. And I mean what I've just said, otherwise I wouldn't say it. So that's that. That's me personally. Next is sharing the power of what we can create together. As a human being myself, I look forward to opportunities to continuing to connect with as many other wonderful human beings as I can, yourself included, Jessica, and sharing this wonderful life that we have and celebrating all of the emotion that we have rather than trying to avoid it. Acknowledging it and utilizing it for the greater good. And Cry is available. We welcome everybody to download, stream. There's a couple of interesting songs coming, and one particularly, the fourth track that will be released as a single, is very uplifting, and they all are. They all are. And it's been wonderful to be with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Right. I can't thank you enough. And tell you from a very personal perspective, the timing of this project, nothing's ever a coincidence. I don't believe that. And so the timing is perfection as usual, as was the last time you were on the show, more than you realize. And so thank you. And I also want to thank John for sharing his thoughts and his experience, and the universe for bringing the two of you together to make this incredible project. It's really amazing. Brittany was saying sometimes we don't win the battles, but we always win the war, and that hit me hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Was that Brittany, did you say?
Brittany, yes.
Thank you, Brittany. Lovely, lovely. I'm glad that resonated with you.
Love it. I love it. We've got all of Ray's contact information down in the show notes, and we'll be adding it as well. Direct links to Cry so that you can go and listen to that on whatever platform you'd like as well. So be sure to check that out. Ray, thank you again so much for being with us today. I really appreciate you.
Likewise, very much. And we'll be together again? Question mark?
We will. We will. Lovely. Absolutely. No doubt. No doubt.
Good. I'm glad about that.
Thank you so much, Ray.
Thank you, Jessica.
So
love to
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. I want to thank all of you for being with us wherever you are in the world today. And as we bring today's musical journey to a close, I'm left reflecting on the profound impact that melodies and lyrics can have on our lives. Music, much like the stories shared here on the Breakthrough Show, have the power to move us, to heal us and to propel us into our next breakthroughs. Ray, I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for sharing your gifts, your story, John's story, all of the people's stories that you bring together, and the soul stirring track Cry with us. Your artistry is a reminder that within every note lies the potential for profound change and healing. To everyone watching, let Ray's music be a reminder that your story, your voice has power. Let it inspire you to find your own rhythm, to dance through challenges, and to sing your truth with courage and joy. And the journey, of course, doesn't end here. I invite you to join us on the next episode of The Breakthrough Show for moments worth remembering with our special guest and another Breakthrough alum, Oleg Lohid. Oleg's story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the moments that shape our paths to breakthrough. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. I want to thank you so much for joining us today and remind you that every day is a great day for a breakthrough. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.